MacVoices at NAB Show 2025. MacVoices is in Las Vegas for NAB Show. I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, we're in the Resilio booth talking to Adam. You may know Resilio as a consumer level syncing product. And that's a whole other story, but we're here to talk to Adam about their big boy product that is, I guess, taking the video market by storm. Is that fair?
You could be. Well, thank you. First of all, Chuck, thank you for having me, and thank you for having me talk to MacVoices. We're great to be here. It's exciting to be at NAB 2025. This is our second year at the trade show. And as you mentioned, a lot of people will know us from the Resilio Sync product, which has been around for over 10 years, well loved for being able to synchronize data from devices to local storage and laptops. And what we're here to show today is a product called Resilio Active Everywhere. Resilio Active Everywhere is somewhat new. It came out about a year ago at NAB last year, and it's really intended for mid-market and large enterprise customers who have a technical challenge around data movement. What do I mean by that? Typically, we live in a world where data is growing exponentially. The problem is it's living everywhere in an organization, in an enterprise, on local storage, on NAS devices, on servers, in the cloud, and providing reliable, efficient access to that data for all employees wherever they are located without latency and with speed of delivery is one of the technical challenges we're trying to solve, or we are solving, so that businesses can move faster, right? Create products faster, deliver customer experience faster because they have access to their data faster. But here at the NAB show, there's three things that we are really talking to our customers about, which is how do we help them with their workflows around remote teams. We have editors who, for a number of years now, who have been moved from a studio facility to a working from home. Their workstation is at home, their local storage at home, but there's centralized storage somewhere else. Resilio is that backbone that's using an optimized delivery method to deliver low latency access to media assets replicated from field or remote workers back to the centralized storage. Another workflow is acquisition teams in the field. They're doing remote production. We can capture data reliably at the edge, cameras, sensors, etc. Anything that's creating data on an SD card, on a hard drive. And instead of putting things on hard drives, cloning hard drives, attaching it to a laptop, uploading it, putting it in FedEx, giving it to a courier, what we're doing is installing the Resilio desktop agent on laptops so that we can reliably and quickly transfer field assets back again to centralized storage. And that centralized storage could be anything like an on-premise server, again, local storage, NAS devices, and of course, cloud, pick your cloud provider, or all at once. And then the final piece is studio to studio. We have a lot of customers who have multiple geographic locations for a VFX studio in Atlanta and Vancouver and LA, right? And they want to replicate all of their storage in an active way across all of those studios. So if for any reason a studio operations are disrupted, the other studio can pick up projects instantaneously without any downtime, again, being able to move faster. And that's what we're here to talk to our customers about. And we're really excited for what's happening in the industry. There's a lot of challenges in terms of being able to deliver projects on time. And that's what we're here to help customers solve.
So many questions here. So you're talking about moving the actual media files. We're not talking about necessarily moving proxy or giving access to proxy. We're talking about I shoot a 10 gig file here. You're transferring 10 gigs and distributing it among wherever I want you to distribute it to.
10 gigs and much, much higher. We're pretty agnostic. We just look at it as a data perspective. It's just bits. It can be files. It can be project files. It can be media assets. At the end of the day, it's unstructured data, and that can live anywhere. And it's making sure that it's reliably transferred. And also not manually. Part of the problem what we're solving for customers is an automated way to distribute that content through certain policies when things should be transferred. We don't want to fill up storage, right? So we can do some storage tiering aspects as well to make sure that the files that the creatives need are there for them, and the things that they don't need aren't wasting their actual, the local storage.
As far as the actual transfer, are you just grabbing all the bandwidth you can find, or do you throttle the bandwidths, or allow me to control the bandwidth for the location?
So all the above, really, Chuck. One of the things that we really are solving for, anybody can move data. The problem is latency and bandwidth. One of the things that we're announcing at the NAB trade show is something we call scale out. So we're able to horizontally scale data transfers up to 200 gigabits per second. And why that's important is most companies have been relying on legacy systems to be able to do that data transfer. And they've been told, ITT teams have been told that 10 gigabits is the maximum you can do data transfers. We're saying, no, that's the past. The modern approach is to be able to break that barrier of 10 gigabits, 200 and higher if your infrastructure can support it. So scaling out is one thing. The second thing is what we call our ZGT, WAN optimization tool. Now I know that's that's a mouthful, but the end result is we have an optimization technique that allows you to maximize or restrict the bandwidth to be able to push data through your networks in a way that doesn't flood your networks or cause bandwidth constriction. So we're constantly monitoring that bandwidth connection and delivering that data in an optimized way so that we're getting the maximum amount that we can out of your network without overloading it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But you got to ask. So let's talk about the big question, security. Because, video, depending on what you're shooting and where you're shooting it, it might be something very innocuous and it could be something very, very, very confidential. How do you handle that as far as, because you are moving from here to there?
So it's a very simple answer. One thing to think about is we're a software layer that sits on your existing storage systems. We are not a storage provider. Okay. So in transport from storage system to storage system, we are end-to-end AES 256 encrypted right off the bat, right? So we're also a member of TPN and we have SOC 2 compliance. So from a security standpoint, we never have a challenge with passing any security protocols or policies that one of our customers would need to ensure the safety and deliverability of their assets, as long as they're following best practices for the actual storage of their files, right? We're a transport layer that's moving it from point A to B, which, as I said, is end-to-end encrypted.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. How do you price this?
Well, the best thing to do is to contact us. Go to resilio.com/demo, and then you'll be able to get in touch with our sales team and our solutions engineers team. The reason I say that is they would talk to you about your implementation, your use cases, and then we'd be able to give you a recommendation on licenses and agents that you would need to run the platform in your environment.
I like what you said earlier. This is just data. Whether it's video, whether it's files. So you're at NAB to talk about video, but this could apply to pretty much anybody that needs to move data around.
We live in a data world, so the important thing to note is let's keep data in our industry open. And what I mean by that is we don't want to put any wrappers around your data and make it restricted to a proprietary data transfer solution. We want your data to exist, your files to exist natively in our system. And that's what we focus on so that you're not locked into any one vendor. And in this world of media entertainment, which I've been in for 20 years, the ecosystem is what matters, that we all work interconnectedly with creative applications, storage systems, media asset management systems, etc. So that's part of the uniqueness of the Resilio platform, is that it's completely agnostic in terms of the tools and the storage systems that you're using. We're keeping everything, all your file formats native, and we take a Switzerland-like approach to delivery. We don't care where it goes. You assign that through the policies on our platform and the centralized management console, and it arrives as if by magic.
I like that. That should be your tagline: "Arrives by magic."
I'm gonna add that to next year's show.
There you go, Adam. Thank you so much for the time,
Chuck. It was my pleasure talking to the folks at MacVoices, and we hope you have an awesome show.
Thank you. One last thing: The website, of course, is
Resilio.com.
Obviously. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Folks, we'll have more from NAB Show in Las Vegas. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.